Hindsight is 20/20 vision. Moving forward, the Olympia is behind us. We're getting ready for the Arnold Classic 2010. We're about 5 weeks out. I'm excited. My team is excited. My mentor is excited. And, we're coming to best represent, our camp, Team MD, muscular development, muscle meds, everyone that has actually been more than a valuable resource to help us achieve the best condition that we possibly can. My company has just come out with two really new products that I really want to tell you about very quickly. One is called Methyl Burn, and I actually got a chance to start to use this a little bit earlier on, for the prep about a year ago, but I've noticed that now they have a new delivery system that is no longer sublingual, but it's new. It's now available to the public. However, I've been able to use it and take advantage of it for about a year now. Good luck to anybody else that's willing to try. I've definitely enjoyed what it's been able to do for me, and we're off and running and ready to get started.
Yeah, for the Olympia, our game plan for the last few weeks was to bring the best Kai Greene that we could bring. We trained very hard. We dieted hard, cardio hard. Everything was just as intense. The last week or so, we brought his body weight down a little bit lower than the previous 2 years to try to get his waist smaller. We had a lot of people telling us that his waist was getting too big, you got to get him any bigger. So we brought him actually about 10 pounds lighter than the Arnold. And at that lighter weight for Kai, his conditioning is not as pronounced. His body fat levels were low, but his conditioning his separation was not as striking as it was at the Arnold. And, we can't really play Phil Heath's game or Dexter Jackson's game. They are who they are. And the best Kai Greene, is, a freaky, muscular, dense, allow him to be the best that he could be. In other words, you can't take Dorian Yates and make him look like Flex Wheeler. You got to bring Dorian Yates. He's got to bring himself into the best Dorian Yates that he could be. And that's our game plan going forward in the next 5 weeks, to bring a Kai Greene, massive condition, and the best Kai Greene that has ever appeared, without sacrificing any muscle tissue. Of course, keeping an eye on the waist, but, just bring freaky conditioning, density, muscular, just the best that he's ever been, and, bypass the Arnold of last year, by far.
A lot of people don't know this, but just recently, not recently, but for some time after the Olympia, I started to really have some incredibly difficult issues with my back, the toll of being able to train very aggressively and intense and walk around with excessive amounts of body weight. They take a toll. And for years, I, in fact, remember fantasizing as a teenager and a boy, being able to be, this massive guy that can be over 300 pounds, walking around and, throwing, some very heavy weights around. But I found that actually when climbing in the trenches of that experience, there's a host of other things to consider that I'd never thought of before. Anyway, as a result, my back was just really, I don't even know how to say it.
Spasm tight.
Training was significantly impaired.
Just before legs were back.
Oh, man. And it was almost frightening to think about what we could do with training, going forward for the Arnold. So, who was it? That's Steve?
Steve Weinberger, yeah.
Steve Weinberger told us to check out Michael Kemp.
Kevin English trainer.
Oh, man. What'd you say he was?
Kevin English's training partner.
Wow. Man, this dude, I think it because Oscar said, go ahead and check it out. We went on it, and we did so. Man, this guy in a couple of visits really did a lot to help my lower back. As a result, I went from, how bad was I before?
Couldn't get out of the car, couldn't wake up in the morning properly, just couldn't deadlift, couldn't squat.
No deadlifts, no squatting. I was walking around feeling like an elderly man, So anyway, long story short, a couple of visits with Dr. Kemp, and man, I feel like so much improved, as you get a chance to see in the video today. This is the first time being under 5 plates on the squat, since the Olympia. Yeah, so this is a long time coming, and I just wanted to definitely take a minute and give, Michael Kemp a big shout out, because the work that he did to help get my back in commission and put our prep back in the game was significant. So thanks, Michael Kemp, and thanks, Steve, for referring him to us.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a tremendously big help. And he's passionate about what he does. He loves his work. And when you find individuals that have a passion for what they do, you tend to find, very good, results of what they accomplish. Michael Kemp definitely is someone that should be looked at if anybody has an injury or anything wrong with their joints or ligaments. It's just, he's a go-to guy, definitely.
Rehab work especially, this dude is the man.
All right, we're about to close here in MD for today. Thank you for checking us out. You're going to see a few more training sessions in the upcoming weeks and getting ready for the Arnold. Thank you again for checking out MD.
Yeah, we send a special shout out to Steve Bleckman, Steve Weinberger, Jim Mannion, Gerard Dente, and who else? Robbie Duran. All right, man. Everybody at home, take it easy. Peace.